Hi, this is Cameron Thorne. Continuing on talking about our time mastery. Wanted to just take a moment as a quick review is when you're talking about building a business is we have to have a strong foundation, have our mastery level down. One of the mastery foundations happens to do with time. We're looking to take our business from a chaos to control. One of the first areas that we could actually look at is our own time. Let's talk about time mastery just for a moment here. When you're talking about time, you never can control time. You can't even master it. As time happens whether we want it to or not. So looking at our time target, when you're trying to hit a target, you're always trying to hit the bullseye. The bullseye is where the most points are. Knowing that, what we're trying to do is as we hit the bullseye, there's other areas in there. When you look at the outside ring there, it says not urgent and not important. When I look at most business executives and business owners, they spend typically about a third of their time in a zone that's not urgent and not important, doing things every single day like picking up toner cartridges or reading the internet or getting on Facebook, reading the newspaper. Those are things that can be done before work or after work. They're not urgent and they're not important. The fact of the matter is most employees waste between 2 and 3 hours a day. Business owners waste just as much time. The next ring inside says it's urgent and not important. We feel like it's urgent, but it really isn't that important to the business. Like picking up the toner cartridge, you feel like it's urgent, but it's not that important. It's something that could have been done by somebody else at another time. The next ring is urgent and important. Those are fires, things that we didn't take care of when we should have, and all of a sudden they became urgent and important. It can be like paying the gas bill because the gas guy is showing up to your business to turn it off, or the internet being shut off. Not paying bills, or not paying your payroll on a timely basis, or your taxes. That becomes urgent and important. The middle square is, or the middle target says not urgent but important. Those are the activities that we as business owners and or executives should be doing most of the time. The fact of the matter is under the not urgent, not important, a third of the time is spent. Urgent and not important, almost another third. And the urgent and important, not enough time is spent in the middle one where it's not urgent and not important. And when I talk to business owners, I say, what are the 2 or 3 things that you'd be spending most of your time doing? And by doing so, it makes all the difference in the world. Usually the answers that I get are things such as marketing and training. When you do those 2 things, it makes all the difference. The fact of the matter is most business owners spend only about 10 to 20% of their time in there. But if they spent more of their time, they would become much more profitable. So think about the activities that are not urgent, but they're important. That's where we should be spending the majority of our time, instead of one of these other places where the majority of people do spend their time. So time mastery. Time mastery is looking about building productivity. Urgency versus timeliness. Yeah, some things become urgent because we didn't take care of them earlier. Rather than timeliness, if we do things on a timely basis, we become more organized. We should be looking at the timeliness of high priority tasks. What are the things that are the most important to us? Simple things such as, like it says on here, invoices being sent on time, collecting our debts, anything that's in accounts receivable, going after provisions or products and services, knowing the KPIs for our business and making sure we're doing activities that will bring us positive cash flow. High productivity and activity is the outcome here. That's what we're looking for. The 3 main areas of mastery: self-mastery, planning mastery, and delegation mastery. And just quickly look at all 3 of those here. Under self-mastery, there's no such thing as time management, as I said earlier. You have to focus on your self-management. How do you control yourself? Doing what needs to be done. Do the hardest thing first. Get those things out of the way, rather than just putting out small fires and dealing with what is right in front of you, which tends, the squeaky wheel always gets the grease. How do you plan that so there's not so many squeaky wheels? Or do you set a time every single day that you can handle those squeaky wheels? What is the most important project you can do to improve your business? If you're only spending 10% of your time on that, What if we could double that? What would that actually do to your bottom line? When you start doing this, usually it takes outside discipline, and then people eventually develop their internal discipline. But self-development work is a must. You've got to get better. You do that by educating yourself, learning from the best, having somebody hold you accountable. What do we ask our owners to do that I work with? Make a list of the next day's task at the end of each day or at the beginning of each day, and then prioritize them. Break them into A, B, or C priorities. The A priorities are the ones that always have to get done first. B's don't get done until the A's are 100% completed, and the C priorities, they're delegated. Make sure you always have goals to focus. Make sure they're in front of you, and use your goals to actually make your daily priorities. If you know that you're supposed to make so much each day, make sure that's in front of you, and put tasks in front of you that'll make sure that you earn that. Make sure you have a 90-day planning system. Planning mastery. Planning mastery is building a plan and working the plan. You stick it on paper, having a 90-day plan or a weekly step-by-step, whatever it may take. You've got to invest the time to think, develop, and write any plan that you've got. And then you put everything from your plan on a daily to-do list as the last activity of the day or the first activity the next morning. Planning covers many areas in businesses. You've got to know the six levels to master results, or the 5 areas that can bring the most profit into your business. And also, you've got to have an action plan. Too many people are good at just planning. If you're just planning and there is no action to it, why even do it? Develop a plan to do what's got to be done. A good plan is a simple plan, and make sure to put that back up again, is if you make it too complex, you never get it done. I find too many people that when I go do the 90-day seminars, they've got 200 things on the paper. I know that they're not going to get any of them done. Very rarely do people write that many things and get them done. A lot of things they're writing down are simple steps, but they're so disorganized and they're not simple, and so they simply just don't get it done. Delegation mastery. Delegation is simply that is, what is your time worth? I did an experiment with one of my clients, said, what is your time worth? He was a carpet cleaner, did about $450,000, found out how many hours he was working a day, and based on what he had told me, his time was worth about $164 an hour. When he was out there doing the 2 most important things in his business, being finding work and training, his time was worth $150 and sometimes even as much as $200 an hour. Knowing that, sometimes I would catch this person going out and buying the toner cartridges, going out and buying the lunch and stuff like that, rather than having somebody that makes $12, $14 an hour do it. What is your time worth? If you know what it's worth, why are you doing the things that you don't need to do? Find those things that you don't need to do. Get rid of those that don't make you productive. Find the hours every day so that you can work on your business and do those things that are the most important to it. Delegation is as much about training the owner to let go as it is the team. A lot of times the owner likes to do those simple things. He's always done them, and so you have to train them as well. So, talked about time mastery today. To find out more, please give me a call. Have a great day.